Hello everyone, good afternoon. Am I audible? I request from all the online students to please confirm whether I'm audible. Is the screen visible to all of you? Zoom on YouTube, please confirm. I think yes. Good. How many of you have given the mains? That is my first question. How many of you have given the mains before? The reason why I'm asking this question is because this webinar is especially for those students who have given the mains, because they will be able to connect with me, and especially the features which we are going to talk about, the strategy which we are going to discuss. So it is very important to understand whatever we are going to discuss in this session is not only going to help those students who have given the mains, but at the same time, it will also help those who have just started preparing for this exam or maybe given 2 or 3 attempts, but unfortunately couldn't clear the prelims itself, right? So the very first question which I wanted to ask from those students who are seniors, who have given attempts, the mains I'm talking about, right? What did you learn after giving the first mains? It could be 25, 24, or maybe 23. Even if you have given 2, 3 mains, what are the mistakes you have analyzed in your answers? That is my first question. Yes, Suryanshu. So what did you learn? Because if you are not going to learn anything from your attempts, it will be very difficult to strategize your preparation or to learn the new things. So first you should know where are the gaps. Only then we can try to fill the gaps. If you don't know where are the gaps, then or where is the problem, then there is no point. So the very first question is, I want all of you to realize, just to think, to observe where was the mistake because of which you could not clear the mains. Because the reason why I wanted to ask this question is, from last couple of weeks since we have launched this SureShot Senior Super 50 batch, I have been communicating with so many students. And most of the students who have enrolled into this program so far have given 3 attempts, 3 mains, 2 mains, at least I'm talking about. So this year we have good number of students and the qualitative students rather, I would say. But unfortunately, they have shared their experience, which is not something I would talk about in this session, but definitely I would talk about the learning. After talking with them, what issues I have identified and what are the problems they are facing, right? So as far as the mains preparation is concerned, or especially the answer writing is concerned, we all know that we have hardly 2 or 3 months, right? After the prelims, you will get not more than 65 or 70 days. And from 65 or 70 days, you will be able to use hardly not more than 55 or 60 days, right? So it is very important to understand how this senior program is designed, because many students are still confused what are the features of this program and how it will help you in overall preparation. As far as the mains answer writing is concerned, as far as the previous year's questions are concerned, as far as the notes making are concerned, as far as the value addition is concerned, right? So everything we have considered while designing this program. And this program is going to be very, 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 very effective, because this is with very unique features, right? And I will talk about each and every feature. So balancing paper completion and quality, one of those two gets compromised. Yes, I have given 2 mains, but I feel like I lack quantitative and qualitative answer writing, and therefore I'm not able to score marks. Yes, Divyansh, Suryanshu, I understand what are the issues you are facing. So see, you need to understand, I'm into this field from last 6-7 years. I have been mentoring students. I have mentored so many rankers also, right? So I know all these problems which you are facing. But the problem is when I say something, when I suggest something, the problem is people don't follow it rigorously. क्यों नहीं follow करते हैं हम लोग? Because of the distraction. Distractions are created by the market forces itself, right? Whenever you see any lucrative notes or the PDF online content, you start believing that those notes or those PDF or content will help you in overall preparation, but answer is no. So the gap which I have identified after talking with so many senior students, the gap is the skill gap. It is not about the gap in the content. It is not about the gap as far as the, you can say, the value addition is concerned. It is the gap of skill. What particular skill I'm talking about, I hope you already know it. If you don't know it, we will discuss that, right? So let's begin with this. So this SureShot senior program, you all know that, will have the full length test, like 12 full length test before the prelims and 12 full length test after the prelims. So the before the prelims test will be based on the section, the subject wise, and after prelims there are going to be 12 FLTs, including essays also. So there are 27 tests. So we are going to take care of you before the prelims and after the prelims itself. So this number of tests is something which I don't really want you to focus on. What you need to focus on is the very unique component which we have introduced in this program. And that is live PYQ anchored reverse engineering brainstorming session. These brainstorming session is the most important component, and the skill which I was talking about, the skill will get developed when you will start spending time with the previous year's question, right? Because there is a difference. When I'm saying there is a difference between answer writing and brainstorming, you need to understand this very particular logic. Many students who have come to me in last few weeks, they have been practicing rigorous answer writing. Trust me, they have wrote more than like 40-50 tests in 23 attempts, in 24 attempts, 25 attempts, right, in throughout the year. From the very beginning, they have been practicing answer writing, but they are not able to understand where are the gaps. So this is what I have started with. The skill is the gap which you need to focus on, and how that particular skill will get developed, that I'm going to show you today, and I'm going to prove it how it will help you. Because in these live PYQ brainstorming session, I'm not going to explain you just only how to decode the topic. That is what I think the one-pager note is all about. After which you all are running, ki one-pager notes de do, one-pager notes de do. Trust me, my friend, once you know the art of dividing the question, the statement, the keyword, you will start asking, where are the half-pager note? Even I don't even need one-pager note. As far as, for example, there is a topic, food processing industry. Trust me, once I will discuss with you based on the previous year's questions, once I will brainstorm the question, you will not even need one-pager note. Half-pager note will be more than enough to write a perfect answer. And I will show you the demo. I will show you the example, how these live previous year's question brainstorming sessions are being conducted with other batches. Because we have mains camp batch, who for those who are still trying to attempt or who are still learning the answer writing, PYQ dominator batch are there. So for both the batches, I'm already conducting the previous year's questions brainstorming sessions. So I will give you a glimpse of that. Apart from that, I've also picked up one topic where I want you to focus on. And then probably you will learn what particular skill I'm talking about, right? So this brainstorming sessions are the most important part, right? So for example, I will show you. So many students are confused. From 7th of December, we have the first test will be conducted. But before that, as you can see, 1st of December, we are going to start with the brainstorming session on polity and international relation. Now, many students have asked me this question, sir, how it is possible to cover or to brainstorm the polity previous year's question just in one day? My friend, it is not one day. It is not one day. We have 6 days, right, between 1st of December to 7th of December. So there will be minimum 3 brainstorming session. There will be 3 brainstorming session, at least 3 I'm talking about, right? Maybe 1st, then 3rd and 5th. And these brainstorming sessions are going to be on Zoom, and it will be minimum 2 hours. And sometime it could stretch up to 3 hours. And it is not only 3 days. If we feel we need more number of days, maybe 4, 5, we are going to complete the entire polity and international relation in those 5 days. Most importantly, we are not going topic wise. No, we are going micro topic wise. Micro topic wise questions. We will pick up the questions micro topic wise, and we will see what are the pattern UPSC has been asking, how the questions has been evolving, what are the structure demand of the question. So we are not brainstorming the PYQ topic, we are brainstorming the previous year's question. And this is the problem you all basically not problem, but this is a mistake you all commit, right? The mistake is, for example, I'll just ask you a very simple question, right? Suppose there is a topic, food processing industry. If you have the notes, you can open up the notes, right? And you can check what all content you have in your notes. I will tell you, you will have some data related to the food processing industry. For example, like the contribution of food processing industry in employment, as far as the GDP is concerned, as far as the rate of growth is concerned. So data, then significance of food processing industry, then challenges you may have, right? You may have some value addition, that is like some case studies, example, right? And you might have some suggestions, right? You may have some suggestions. Apart from that, you may have some government initiatives, schemes, or like that. So this is, if you so this is how basically we prepare the notes. Yes or no? So now, if this is how you have the notes, so basically what you have done, you have brainstormed the topic, but this is not how the UPSC has started asking the question. UPSC has changed the pattern. UPSC has changed the pattern. For example, let me give you one example. For example, one of the challenge in food processing industry is, for example, market linkages or supply chain management. Supply chain management. So if the question is direct, discuss the significance of food processing industry and challenges associated with it, you can like think n number of points, but that is not how UPSC has been asking the question. UPSC has started asking the question. UPSC will pick up just one point out of the challenges, and it will link it with the food processing industry. For example, discuss the challenges related to the supply chain, market linkages, quality of the processed food. Now you will be confused how to think further. यहाँ पे आपकी skill काम आएगी, and that skill will get developed only through the brainstorming session. There are no alternatives. Trust me, my friend, there are no alternative. अगर आपने अपनी habit नहीं develop की to think about the various dimensions, to think about the broad aspects which you can use directly in the exam hall, then it will be difficult to complete the paper in time. The student who have written the mains, they already know it. They already know it. And as far as the brainstorming session or brainstorming the previous year's questions are concerned, my friend, I have gone through last 40 years of previous year's questions. Many students already know me. They know the strategy or the the approach which we follow to brainstorm the previous year's questions has been very, very helpful. Right? Yes, it will be recorded, Kangan, and you can watch it late after your GS classes are completed. So that is not a problem. So basically, I have extensive experience as far as the previous year's questions are concerned. Last 40 years of previous year's questions I have analyzed, and not once, twice, almost more than 20 times I have analyzed the previous year's questions, and I am still learning. I am still learning. So it is not something one-time exercise. The more number of times you are going to brainstorm the previous year's question, the more number of templates, the framework you will learn. But first, you should think how to start with this, how to begin with this, right? So that is the idea, basically, we are going to focus on. Yashashvi, okay, thank you so much. I really want to say your strategies. Yes. So some students call me PYQ man because I have spent so much of time into it. So I think I should proclaim that title, right? PYQ man. So thank you so much, Yashashvi. Yes. So the previous year's questions are going to be the game changer. And as far as the questions in the mains paper are concerned, I'm asking a very simple question. How many questions do you think UPSC like repeats on a day, every year? At least 50% of the question. At least 50% of the questions are repeated every year. And rest of the question, around 30 to 40% question needs logic, which are very new. जिसमें आपको logic लगाना है. For example, these kind of questions. These kind of questions you cannot attempt just by referring your notes, right? So over relying on the notes which you buy from the market may not help you unless you have this skill, right? So how this brainstorming session will help you to structure your entire preparation, that is what I am going to explain in very brief. For example, on the 1st of December, we will have brainstorming session 1. Then on 3rd of December, brainstorming session 2. Then 5th of December, brainstorming session 3. Based on these 3 sessions, what you will learn? You will learn how the pattern of the UPSC questions has been changing topic wise. What is the demand of the question, core and non-core demand? What should be the structure in the answer? What should be the structure in the answer as far as the demand is concerned? And finally, most important part is the framework or the templates which you can use to frame the points or to generate the point. I hope this is clear. So this is what we are going to learn in the brainstorming session. And once these brainstorming sessions are done for all the topics, you can update your notes. You can update your notes. And now many students have asked me this question, sir, updating the notes is a very time consuming process. How should we go about it? So for those students, what my suggestion is, we have one pager note, mains smasher. We have mains smasher. These mains smasher are one pager note for every topic. So when you know what should be the structure, what are the important themes, what are the important framework which you can apply to frame the answer, you just need to substantiate this with some data, some examples, some facts which you can get from mains smasher. So before even you attempt the test, your notes are prepared that you can quickly revise. And these notes are not something which we are proclaiming that these are the best notes. These are the previous year's notes based on the previous year's question. These notes are prepared based on the previous year's questions only. मैं अपनी तरफ से तो नहीं बोलूंगा ना कि हाँ ये पढ़ लो वो पढ़ लो randomly. Just based on the previous year's question, I'm saying this, prepare the notes on this. See, you need to understand one thing. It is humanly impossible to prepare everything for UPSC. But at least please make sure you prepare those topics which are extremely important. At least 70-80% of the topics which we know, which are repeated every year. Right? For example, polity में कितनी topic है? 12-13 topic हैं which are repeated. Right? Similarly, in economics, there are hardly few topics which are repeated every year, alternate year, after 2 years, 3 years. That is what we are going to identify. Right? So this is how we will go about it. Now, the third step is you attempt the full length test of polity and international relation and check whether you can apply these templates or not. Whether you can apply these templates or not. And most of the students, I know they will be able to apply the templates. But in case if you think in some questions you find it difficult to apply the template or to think about the structure, demand of the question, we have one-to-one session. Either the session will be can be booked with me, Rahul Shekhar sir is there, rank 242, Shoaib sir is there, Sachi ma'am, both are IRS. So you can book the session with them. We have a Mohit sir who is heading the team, Raghu sir is there, right? So we have a good team, the senior member team dedicated for seniors batch only. Similarly, we have a separate team for evaluation also. Those team of evaluation, like the members, they will be evaluating only seniors copy and they all have the interview level experience. And some of them are recommended also. I cannot name here, right? But they are also recommended. Few candidates are recommended. So we have a very good team for evaluation as far as one-to-one sessions are concerned, as far as the PYQ brainstorming are concerned. So this is how you will learn how to basically replicate all these strategies, whatever we are going to follow through this program, right? Any doubt in this? Yes, I will be. I'm the head of this program, so obviously I'm leading the mentorship program and this PYQ session as well. So don't worry about it. Right? So now, so I hope as far as this is this program included in this batch? Yes, Aditi. Yes. Now, very, very important point which I wanted to announce. Right? This is the first batch which we are going to launch from 1st of December, right? As you can see, right? This is the first batch. Second batch, and we just to inform you, we are already about to close this batch, okay? Because we have got students enrolled into this program, so we are about to close this batch and we will be announcing the second batch. But second batch onwards, you may not be able to participate in the live brainstorming session because we all are going to be occupied with the first batch. So whatever we are going to record in the first batch, the same videos will be available for the second batch onwards. So if you really want to join this program, or before joining the program, if you want to consult with me or the other members, the rankers, you can definitely scan this QR code and you can fill the form, right? So, and you can discuss your answers. You can discuss your notes with me or with the Mohit sir or Shoaib sir, Rahul sir. You can book one-to-one session, but make sure you try to enroll in the first batch itself. Swaminathan, this fees is included. If you are recommended candidate, 50% discount. If you have appeared in the interview, we have 25%, and if you are Vajiram student, 15%. But still, after this session, whatever the queries I will receive based on your marks in the mains, suppose you are very close to the cutoff. For example, you are scoring more than 700 or you have scored more than 700. in the first mains itself, or maybe second mains itself. So I know you are very close to the cutoff, right? So in that case, I can personally consider some discount, but it is not applicable for everyone, because we need quality students in this program, because this program is not something which everyone can follow. So अगर आप लोग मेहनत करने के लिए तैयार हो, if you are ready to devote like 2 to 3 hours on a daily basis with the previous year's question, then only this program will help you. This is not a spoon feeding program. We are not going to spoon feed everything, right? You need to spend time with me. You need to spend time with the previous year's question. You need to involve yourself in the brainstorming session. You have to prepare the notes, and you have to write the answer on a weekly basis, and then come for a one-to-one discussion. Only then you will find how this program is benefiting you as far as the answer writing is concerned. And it is my challenge to you. After first brainstorming session or the second brainstorming session, you will see the difference in your approach, because in this brainstorming session, we are going to focus more on your skill rather than your rote learning strategies. We are going to focus more on the logical thinking, rational thinking, how to think about any particular question, about any particular topic, right? So this is the thing. Thank you. Yes, yes. So brainstorming sessions are interactive. It is going to be conducted on the Zoom. So it's a two-way communication. So that is the difference we have introduced in this program. This is the first of its kind. No one is going to sit with you with the previous year's questions and brainstorm those. They might give you the model answer. They will give you the questions to write the answer. But my friend, there is one concept you must understand. There is a difference when you write the answer of the previous year's questions and when you brainstorm the previous year's question. And what is the difference? Let me explain you through the example, right? So just a second. I think this file is... This file, can you check this file? This is not a complete file. Okay, so the concept which I was explaining. No, Piyush, this program is not fledgling batch. This program is only for those students who have given the mains. That is the reason it's a senior program, right? Okay, so the concept which I was trying to explain here is this concept you need to understand, right? What is the difference between writing the answers of previous year's questions and the brainstorming, right? When you write the answers of previous year's questions, basically this involves inward looking process. This is inward looking process. What do you mean by inward looking process? Suppose you have previous year's question and you have notes on other side. So as soon as you see the previous year's questions, you will start thinking how to include the points from my notes to address the demand of this question. So it's a basically, you can say, inward looking process, right? This is exactly what happens. हम लोग क्या करते हैं? जैसे ही कोई क्वेश्चन देखते हैं, we just directly go to our notes. अच्छा हाँ, मेरे नोट्स में ये चीज है, and we try to dump it in the answer. Now, that is why I say it inward looking process. However, when we brainstorm the previous year's questions, we forget about these notes. मुझे इन नोट से मतलब नहीं है. When I'm looking at particular previous year's questions, I am just thinking what could be the various demand of the question, what are the templates I can use in my answer, What are the framework I can think as far as the demand of the question is concerned? How can I generate the diversified points? So basically, you are forcing your mind to go beyond your notes and think diversified points. So just imagine you are practicing this. Previous year's questions for next 3 months. Imagine the level of understanding you will gain, right? So now another thing is you need to understand. For example, let me pick up the previous year's question and I will ask you, how many of you can see this program, this previous year's questions? Is it visible to everyone? Is this visible to everyone? Yes. Online Zoom student, please confirm whether it is visible or not. Yes. These are the previous year's questions which I have picked up from one topic, and that is inclusive growth. This question is from inclusive growth. Now, I would like to ask you, how many of you have? Now, is it visible? It should be visible now, I guess. Right? Right? Yes. Vidushi, good. How many of you have the notes on inclusive growth? How many of you have notes on the inclusive growth? Tell me. Anyone have any notes on the previous inclusive growth? Just ask yourself, if you do not have a notes, why you do not have the notes? That is the first question I'm asking. And Mayank, you have the notes. What all dimensions you have written in your notes? Tell me. I will tell you. When we think of the inclusive growth, हमारे माइंड में एक स्ट्रक्चर आ जाता है कि what are the various examples, data we can use as far as the inclusive growth is concerned. For example, what, why, issue, challenges, and way forward. Very good. What is inclusive growth? Right? Why inclusive growth is important? Issues with inclusive growth, yeah, challenges, and way forward. This is how we prepare the notes, and this is the notes how we buy it from the market. Right? Now, after going through the previous year's questions, you will realize why those notes you are going to throw after watching this session, the brainstorming session, right? Now, this question UPSC has asked in 1982. Why did the Prime Minister of India announce in June the 20-point program, mention briefly the main point? Do you think this question is relevant? Anyone, is this question relevant in the contemporary time? Yes? It is asked in 1982. Why is this question relevant? Tell me. This question is, half portion of this question is relevant. I'm not going to concern about the 20-point program, but yes, I must think about what are the various schemes government has launched as far as the rural population and rural economy is concerned. So the theme which I have extracted from this question is rural population and rural economy as far as the inclusive growth is concerned. Second question, I am convinced that only key to the solution of the world problem and of India's problem lies in socialism. I see no way of ending the poverty, the vast unemployment, the degradation and subjection of Indian people except through socialism. In what way did Nehru succeed in achieving the objective through national planning? Now, Rohit, Mayank, can you attempt this question with your notes? Tell me. Can you attempt this question with your notes? Or anyone, if you have prepared, if you have given the mains, if you have prepared this topic, I want to ask you whether you can attempt this question or not. Most of you will answer, we can attempt it, but not 100%. कुछ 150 word तो how many? It's like 15 marker question. Not effectively. That is the problem. सीनियर स्टूडेंट के साथ ये सबसे बड़ी कॉमन प्रॉब्लम होती है, उनको आता सब कुछ है, आता सब कुछ है, दे आर नॉट लिविंग एनी क्वेश्चन, राइट, बट नॉट 100%. If you don't know 100%, or not, I'm not even saying 100%, you just need to know more than what the you need to know more than the person who is sitting in front of you. बस उतना ही चाहिए हमको, right? हाँ दिव्यांश, not with the notes but can be attempted with peripheral knowledge. Now when you are going to apply this peripheral knowledge, when you will try to use it, peripheral knowledge, don't you think it will be a time consuming process? Yes, it will be a time consuming process, right? Because you are thinking and then you are writing, इसीलिए पेपर छूटता है. तो why we cannot have the ready-made templates or framework for these kind of question? And I will show you one more thing. This question has been repeated in many years. I will show you. So basically the broad theme of this question is how the economic model of the countries are linked with are linked with the inclusive growth. If UPSC can ask the question about the effectiveness of socialist model of growth as far as the inclusive growth is concerned, it can definitely ask the question on the capitalist model. It can definitely ask the question what India has adopted, mixed model. Definitely UPSC can ask how the effectiveness of government policies post 1991 reforms, right? So this is how the previous year's questions help us to understand or to predict the future questions. And I will show you, you will be shocked to see. So this question is related to the socialism, like to what extent the socialist mode of economy or model has helped India to achieve the inclusive growth. Now, look at this question. Capitalism has guided the world economy to unprecedented prosperity. However, it often encourages short-sightedness and contribute to wide disparities between the rich and the poor. In this light, would it be correct to believe and adopt capitalism for bringing inclusive growth in the India? 2014 का question है. So this is how we have already deduced. UPSC may ask the question later on capitalism. Now, again, look at this. There is one more question. I will show you. Is inclusive growth possible under market economy? State the significance of financial inclusion in achieving the inclusive or financial inclusion. Something like that was the question. So now you see, UPSC has been asking the question again and again and again from the same concept, provided you should know. So broader theme क्या UPSC पूछ रहा है, that first you need to identify. So the very first thing which we in the brainstorming session, the very first thing which we are going to identify is the probable themes. Probable themes for 2026 mains. For 2026 mains, based on the previous year's question. This is the first step in the brainstorming session. Now, what is the second step? Second step is very, very important. And the second step is basically, you can say, the framework, or rather structure of the answer, structure and framework. And this structure and framework is the biggest culprit. I have gone through n number of copies written by the senior candidates. Senior students have given like 3 attempts, 4 mains, 5 mains, interviews. This is the biggest culprit. Structure and the framework. You may not be able to get what is the idea when we say there are issues with the structure, there is issues with the framework. Now, this is the most important or critical point you need to understand, because This is where we are going to focus on in the brainstorming session. Now, I will pick up one question. With the help of that previous year's question, I will try my best to explain you what exactly I'm going to discuss in the brainstorming session, right? And I want the participation of all of you, especially those who have given the mains. If you really want to realize the mistakes you have been committing in last few years, and through this question, I will make sure you will realize this mistake. Now, suppose after clubbing all these three questions, right? After clubbing the second question, which is based on which demands to discuss the effectiveness of socialist model of economy, capitalist, right? Sir, is there any difference between structure and framework? Yes, there is a difference, Divyansh. I will explain you. I will explain you through the help of this question, right? Now, for example, after going through the second question, then fifth question, and the last question, I have got one common theme. And that common theme is basically effectiveness of economic model, right? Effectiveness of economic model as far as inclusive growth is concerned, right? It could be socialist, it could be capitalist, it could be mixed, right? So my notes, when I will be preparing the notes, in तीनों question को club करके, I will prepare the notes like this. This will be my first step. Now the real problem begins, right? For example, I will pick up just one model, either socialist, capitalist, or mixed, right? If suppose you have to frame the answer of this question, right? For example, the question is discuss effectiveness of capitalist mode of growth. Discuss the effectiveness of capitalist mode of growth in the context of inclusive growth. Suppose this is a question. Now, Divyansh, Rohit, what are you going to write? I don't want the points. What I want the various dimensions you can think of. अब मैं बताता हूं आप लोग क्या करोगे. Since question says discuss, so you are going to divide the effectiveness into two parts. Yes or no? आप करोगे yes, like the positive outcome, and there are issues also. Is this how we are going to divide the demand of this question? Yes or no? Tell me. Online student on Zoom, YouTube. Is this how I am going to divide? Is this right? This is my broad structure of my answer, right? Now I can apply the framework, how to think about it. For example, as far as the outcome is concerned, right? I can think in terms of various parameters of inclusive growth. For example, health, education, rural development, digital inclusion, financial inclusion, environment protection, or environment sustainability, right? This is how I can generate the point. Yes or no? Tell me. Is this how you are going to write the answer? Suryanshu, Mohan, Mayank, is this how you are going to write the answer or not? Tell me, please. Stuti says yes. Stakeholder based approach, right? Many students will write the answer like this कि हाँ हेल्थ में इंप्रूवमेंट है, एजुकेशन में इंप्रूवमेंट है, इनरोलमेंट में, रूरल डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है, राइट? देन फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन हो रहा है. What you will do? You will give some data. Some data you will add for everything, right? And this data you will get from the one pager smasher notes, mains smasher. Now my question to you is, suppose you are writing 5 points here, like there are outcomes on in the terms of health, education, rural development, then digital inclusion, financial inclusion. Suppose 6 points under the first demand, 6 points under the issues, and you are giving the suggestions also. You are giving the suggestions also. Still, I will not give you more than 3 marks. I will not give you more than 3 marks. Why? Why I will not give you more than 3 marks? I want to know that. Because the answer which you have written here is not complete answer. And very good. Issues, challenges वही है, Mohan. Linking to the capitalist. Very good point. Harshita, inequality, health inequality, inequality in education, digital inequality, wealth inequality, all these points are the same thing. Now, the real question, what Suryanshu has said, linking with the capital. अगर क्वेश्चन कंपैरेटिव बेस्ड आ गया, कंपेयर करो सोशलिस्ट एंड कैपिटलिस्ट, हाउ आर यू गोइंग टू कंपेयर? So basically what we are doing in our answers, we are highlighting the effect only. ये खाली effect है, right? This is just the effect. But what I am more interested in knowing is the cause. The cause is basically capitalist-led growth. So I will clean this. So basically the cause is capitalist-led growth or socialist mode of economy or mixed economy. This is the cause. Effect is issues with inclusive growth or either their significance. So हम आंसर में क्या करते हैं? We just highlight the effect. This is the effect. And हम लोग डेटा, एग्जाम्पल, केस स्टडीज डंप करके आ जाते हैं. And we leave it to the evaluator or examiner कि भाई समझ लो आप. Now my question to you is, since the cause is capitalist, socialist or mixed economy, how can we develop the point or think about the template for this? How can we think about the framework to link cause and effect? And this is the linking problem in your answer. मैं चैलेंज दे रहा हूं आप लोगों को, आप अपनी कॉपीज जाके एक्सप्लोर करना. In how many answers you have taken care of this cause and effect relationship? You will realize this problem. Trust me, you are going to realize this problem. Cause and effect relationship. Right? So the first part is आप इस चीज को address नहीं कर रहे हो. Second part is आप इसको link नहीं कर रहे हो. How can I give you more than 3 marks? No matter how many data example you are writing under health, education, regional development, financial inclusion, digital inclusion, let it be anything. You are just dumping the data and example. You are not explaining what is the cause. Right? So now I should have a fixed template based on which I can generate the point for these mode of economic growth, right? This is what we are going to discuss in the brainstorming session, right? For example, I'll show you. This is what I have brainstormed. Just before the session, I was brainstorming this topic. It took hardly 30 minutes. मतलब मेरे लिए तो ये 30 minutes का काम नहीं था, ठीक है? Because I have done it like I don't know how many times. That is the reason people calling me PYQ man, right? So I have done it, right? And for example, see. So the various aspects of inclusive growth. For example, we can talk about structural growth, employment, equity, poverty, human development, financial inclusion, digital inclusion. These are the various parameters, various aspects of inclusive growth. But we are going to discuss what are the causes. So look at this. Everyone can see? Now, can we link capitalist-led growth, socialist-led growth, or mixed economy? Can we divide our points based on these framework? Yes or no? For example, ownership pattern of resources, state-owned, private-owned, or mixed, right? If ownership pattern is state-owned, it is socialist. If it is private-owned, right, then it means capitalist. When the resources will be owned by the private players or private sector, don't you think it will lead to inequality, wealth inequality? Yes or no? है कि नहीं है? It will lead to wealth inequality. तो यहां पे ये कॉज है, यहां पे इफेक्ट आ गया. आप लोग खाली ये पार्ट लिख के आ रहे हो, इसको कैसे सोचोगे? Do you think in the examination hall you will have time to think about these aspects? Answer is no. As far as role of the state in production is concerned, when there is like in socialist, the role of state is very high as far as the production is concerned, right? So it will have more, when the state will have greater role to play, it will ensure equality, fair distribution of resources, income. So this may lead to inclusive growth. So this is the template I am talking about. This is, इसी को framework बोलते हैं. For every topic there is a framework, and this is what we are going to explore question by question. Now I am asking you another important question. आप सब लोगों ने inclusive growth पढ़ा होगा, right? आप सब लोगों ने पढ़ा होगा inclusive growth. This is a very important topic. As you can see, how many questions UPSC have asked, right? Repeatedly, UPSC has been asking the question from this topic. But how many of you have thought about this approach when preparing the notes? And that is the reason the notes which you're preparing without referring the previous questions are redundant. उसका कोई यूज नहीं है, फेंक दो उसको ले जाकर. It will not help you. And बार बार आप उसको रिवाइज कर रहे हो. And उससे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम क्या है? You are blindly relying on them. You are trying to frame the answer based on those notes which are faulty. तो आपका पहला स्टेप ही faulty है. फिर आप उसी को और प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हो. तो जो सिचुएशन बिगड़ी है और ज्यादा वर्स स्टोरी है वो. And finally you give up. कि no one can help me in the answer writing, no one can help me in the mains preparation, no one can help me in the PYQ discussion, right? Especially this happens with the senior students. रिजिड हो जाते हैं कि अब क्या सीखने को बचा है, अब तो निर्वाणा प्राप्त कर चुके हैं हम लोग, 3 मेंस लिख दिया है, निर्वाणा मिल गया है. But you need to identify these gaps. And I will show you the glimpse how basically we are brainstorming the previous year's questions with other batches. जैसे कि ये तो मैंने अभी आप लोगों के लिए किया है, but with other batches I will show you the glimpse. For example, see. As you can see, is it visible to everyone? So, regulatory bodies, quasi-judicial bodies, right? All these questions, question by question, I'm picking up. And I'm trying to basically provide the framework or the structure for each and every question, not topic. And this exercise is going to be more intense for senior batches, right? And not only based on the previous year's questions, I'm discussing the themes, I'm also highlighting if there is any scheme or is there any theme which is evolving in the nature. So probable themes. I'm also discussing the probable themes and template for this probable themes. Templates or framework for probable themes. This is also I'm discussing. And I'm going to discuss with the senior batch also the same way, right? So I hope now with this rough work, you can imagine the depth of discussion we are going to conduct with the previous year's question. Look at this. This is the next slide. Right? For each and every topic. For example, protection of vulnerable section. When I was teaching this topic, I discussed only one question, and that is that UPSC has asked in 2014. And when we were discussing this question, after discussing the templates or the framework, we could solve each and every question. We could solve each and every question, but it took effort. Just to discuss one question, we have to use all these templates, the framework, the structure. So my friend, अगर आप लोग PYQ refer कर रहे हो, and if you are not doing this brainstorming like this, I don't think so it will help you, right? So this is the idea. I hope you got the clarity. Anyone from the senior batch or senior category, any doubt you have so far as how this program will be conducted, who will be taking one-to-one session, who will be taking the brainstorming sessions, any doubt, anything. And like I said, this is the first batch, right? So for the first batch only, first batch of this senior program can participate in live brainstorming session. So for example, if we are going to launch the second batch, which we are going to soon, in a day or two, we will be closing this first batch and we are going to launch the second batch from most probably from 15th of December. So suppose if someone is going to enroll from the 15th of December, whatever the brainstorming session conducted before 15th of December will be provided through will be provided in recording form. Mayank, it is not offline session, it is only online session. Please try to understand because I don't want you to waste the time. मैंने देखा है ORN में रहते हैं या करोलबाग तक पहुंचने पहुंचते 1 घंटे लग जाते हैं, चाय पी रहे हैं, दोस्तों से मिल रहे हैं. Abhishek, what was your question? Abhishek, I will be there. I'm the head of this program. Mohit sir is the head of this program. He's also there. So basically, one-to-one session, you will have a portal. You will have the portal where you can book one-to-one session, either with me, either with Mohit sir, or with Rahul Shekhar sir, 242 rank, Sachi ma'am, 550 rank. Right? So that is how you can book the session. My name is Virendra. Okay. Whose name? Portal. It's a Vajiram portal. When you will enroll, you will get the access only then. Rohit, 1-to-1 is online and offline both. Online and offline both. Only the Zoom session will be conducted online. Brainstorming session. Because these are intense program. I don't want you to spend like 6 hours only. Yes, you can choose your mentor. Yes, Rans, you can use your mentor. No issues in that. You will have a portal. You will get the list. Don't worry about it. Right? I hope this is clear. So still, I would say, if you have any doubt, if you want to show your answers, if you want to show your notes, you can bring everything to us. We are sitting in the 7B Vajiram building near Karol Bagh gate number 5. If you have any doubt, personalized doubts related to the answer writing, you can come and discuss with us. But before that, you need to basically fill the form given in the description box, or either you can scan this QR code, and either you can scan this QR code, the team will get back to you. Right? Which type of PYQ? I didn't get it. Abhishek? Avinash, can you repeat the schedule of this program? Yes, I will show you. So, the batch is going to, the first batch I'm talking about, it is going to start from the 1st of December, right? The 1st of December, the brainstorming session will start. Brainstorming session will start. It could be conducted on 1st, 3rd, and 5th. If we need more number of days, we can include 6th also, maybe 4th also. So there are no fixed number of classes because we want to focus on the quality. कराने को तो मैं 2 दिन में भी करा दूंगा. Try to understand this, right? If I have to cover the previous year's questions, I can do it in 2 days also. But that is not how I want you, all of you, to participate. So if we need 5 days brainstorming sessions, then it will be conducted on 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. All 5 days, 2 hours. And each and every PYQ, which are dynamic, evolving, will be discussed. Templates will be provided. Framework will be discussed. And then you can apply in the test. And then evaluation will be done. We have a dedicated team for seniors. All candidates are have given interviews, and some are recommended. And then come for 1-to-1 session with us. Then you can come for 1-to-1 session. Arati, you cannot join this program because this is only for those students who have given at least 1 mains. At least 1 mains. So this program is not for everyone. Rans, since there are 1-to-1 discussions, you can say you can discuss your answers with us 1-to-1. So post-test discussion wahi to hua. Yes, after test, evaluation, then post-test discussions. Will you provide the important micro themes? See, basically what we are going to provide you. In brainstorming session, what we will be providing you, let me give you the clarity on that. Right? For example, okay. For example, this is the question. These are the topics, questions on the inclusive growth. So what I will provide. So these are the broad themes which will be provided to you, not the content. I have told you this is not a spoon feeding program. And what I'm assuming, since you already have given the mains, You must be having some basic notes. So I will dictate that these are the basic themes after going through the previous year's question. So in PYQ, we will identify the important themes, or rather micro themes. Then based on these themes, what will be the templates or framework, right? Then apart from this, we will discuss the demand of the question, the structure of the answer, and the scope of value addition. And scope of value addition. So all these four aspects will be covered in the brainstorming session. Is this clear now? Yes, Ras. Model answer ये सब तो basics हैं. मतलब evaluation, model answer, yes, everything will be provided of the test. Because previous year's questions के model answer, so we are doing it, right? And yes, if you are fresher, right? Gargi, you can discuss with me, no issues. You can fill the form and the team will get back to you. Have you given the mains? Right. So basically, what I was saying, I forgot. Someone was asked, okay, model answer. Model answers of the questions will be shared with you. And based on these brainstorming session, you can finalize your notes. मैं बोल रहा हूं 1-pager notes भी जरूरत नहीं है, half-pager notes. Trust me. When you know there are going to be fixed template, right? When you know there will be a fixed template for each and every topic, right? So you can prepare the notes. जब इतनी चीजें आपको पता ही चल रही हैं, so don't you think you can finalize your notes? It can easily be done, right? So I think this is all for today. For any doubt, please come to Vajiram building and fill the Google form given in the description box. And if you are planning to join this program, I would say don't delay. Otherwise, you may not be able to participate in the live session. और एक fear develop हो जाएगा कि मेरा एक week निकल गया है, ये सारी चीजें हैं, right? So you can scan the QR code, and about the discount you already know. Recommended candidate 50%, interview candidate 25%, Vajiram student 50%. But still, if you have good score in only one attempt and not a Vajiram student or given interview, you can get in touch with me. I will try to offer some discount based on your marks only, based on the effort you have been putting into this exam. Because we need serious candidates. We need the candidate who can give their best effort for this year, right? Because this program demands effort from our side, from your side, right? So this is the idea. And if you are fresher, then the same activity which we are conducting in PYQ Dominator program. PYQ Dominator program. So you can fill the form and you can inquire about this PYQ Dominator. Same activity we are doing, but in this, the tests are half length. In the beginning, there will be 10 questions, and after prelims, there will be 20 questions. There will be 20 questions, right? And in these 10 questions are, you can say, most of the questions will be the previous year's question. तो जो आप सीख रहे हो वही चीज आप यहां पे जाके replicate करोगे within the given amount of time. So that is the reason it can be like this program can be joined by the freshers also. जो मैं क्लास में सिखा रहा हूं वो आप यहां पे अप्लाई कर दो जाकर. At least you will see whether you can frame the answer, frame the structure, frame the points or not in the given amount of time, right? I hope this is clear. Thank you so much. I know. PYQ man, Maximus, thank you, thank you. Right? So I'll wrap up this session and thank you all for joining me. I'll try to conduct another sessions in the upcoming next week, and we'll try to share the best possible information. Thank you so much.